And do you want me to call you Mr.D?
So David is my
David.
name.
Okay, David. Nice to meet you, David. Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Great.
I'm really, really happy to be here, especially talking about this
Yeah.
issue. So I would say the issue that started everything.
Right.
So it's good. It's good. Um, yeah, basically, I don't know. As I said, I'm Spanish, so most of the white dwarf that came around the 90s, they were translated into my language.
Mm.
And it started right after this specific one. This is the last one was in English. If I recall correctly, it was October, because in October it was my birthday. So here I went, going to the shop that I was seeing miniatures in the in the display outside of the shop. This really small shop from the small neighborhood. So I bought it for myself. And after this one, the first one, number one in the Spanish, White Dwarf, started to come out. So quite a special number for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the classic John Blanche cover from the second edition 40K box set, which I think we'll look at John Blanche more, which is quite fitting as he recently retired or from
Yeah.
after 40 years. So yeah, it's a bit of a John Blanche homage special, this one, I think. So
Yeah, indeed. I think it's also quite interesting that he's getting retired. So nice, nice to discuss it about it. So
yeah,
an
definitely.
amazing piece. It's an amazing piece.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
the release of the new box set for second edition.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
£34.99.
This was coming with a free miniature that
Oh.
I horribly painted, I guess. Yeah, yeah. It was this is a really, really nice. There's really nice things within this word of, as I said, it was in English for me. I'm Spanish. Yeah, I remember I was not really understanding much of the things that they were coming here.
Yeah.
But I was just amazed by all the pictures. For example, like, oh, who is this guy who won this prize in there? And I was really fascinated about that Terminator prop they did. I think for some commercials. I'm not really sure about that, but you can see in this image. There were some commercials made, some short movie. I don't really remember how it was, but I was really fascinated about it. Um, yeah, I remember just also the watching this image of the Rom the Punch for a long, long time. So I have it in my collection, I think twice. One is in Spain, the other one is I'm having it here prep for running into my army.
Good.
But
Yeah. Nice.
amazing this art box. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here you go. This would have been your first sort of look at how to paint miniatures then, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely something we needed. I was in the beginning not really understanding why using the whites, but then I realized that the red was not really uh, getting into the bright colors if you were using the black in the first place. So it was really, really eye opener. And it was just, yeah, Mike McVeigh just became a god for me. I've heard that name firstly in the box of, yeah, the Hero Quest, which I think is what drew me into the shop firstly. But yeah, it's an amazing guide if you look at it.
Yeah, and I think this came up on Twitter really recently. Stuart Thomas, I believe, painted the sample models here. It wasn't actually Mike McVeigh at all,
Indeed, yeah.
and they didn't paint the backs of the models, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They had a guy turn around the back of the model, and they were not painted at all.
Yeah, it was just the first the yeah, the front side. Yeah, yeah. I wrote that tweet. Yeah, yeah. It was funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna ask you, how have you ever just painted more than uh I don't know, Mentor Legion or something like the Legion of the Damned, because I was really intrigued here, and I remember yeah, the lore was not really that well defined yet here, like who were the Primarchs, and everything was quite open. I think it got more defined along the way in general.
Yeah, no, it'd be a really good hobby project just to get, what was that, 3, 6, 12 plastic Marines and paint them as these chapters and have. I think someone did this. I think on Facebook someone made like a it's a wall mounted display, and they did this with the pictures and the shield. They had the shoulder pads, all the icons and stuff. It's a really nice kind of memento about this particular section of the rule book, and talking about all the Marine chapters. And yeah, that'd be a really cool project to do, I think. One of those kind of cutaway kind of diorama type things that you could do for yourself and put on the wall.
Yeah, thank you for the idea. To the to-do list now.
So what's your favorite chapter then?
So I'm a Space Wolves like forever. The moment I saw, mostly because of the background, the bright colors were just captivating me, but mostly that they were not as regular as the Ultramarines, I would say. Yeah, I was really intrigued by some of the pictures and some of the why these guys are just wearing all this fur and all these totems, and they're so different. So yeah, Viking look, I think, got me.
Yeah. Well, I got some nostalgia 88. Was it blue grey and Space Wolf grey in the mail today, delivered?
Oh, so nice.
If you need those paints, get them quick because they're running out from war colors. So they're going to phase those paints out, sadly.
Oh yeah. Oh,
if you need any restocks, then get them now.
I better do. I think I'm really fan of the goblin green color they have. I use it for the
really
bases.
Nice. I actually got to say it's really good. The Nostalgia 88 one is just almost, it hits the spot in terms of a green hue. It's just perfect. Yeah.
Nice. Have you had a chance to try the new ones?
I have. I'm doing a review. I've got them right in front of me, actually.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to do a review very soon for everybody to get my opinions on them. But I'm very impressed so far from what
I'm looking forward to put.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, honestly, I'm really. Yeah, well, we'll leave it for the review, but let's just say it's you're not going to be disappointed with them. I'm going to say that.
Nice. Good spoiler. Quick spoiler. Yes. Yeah, as you can see, there's many things here that after I ended up learning, and there were many things that they are not really or contradicting the current lore that is happening nowadays. I remember the physique of the Space Marine is a bit unclear. They were starting just including the name of the different organs of the Space Marine. It's quite nice. This era, I would say, when things were a bit foggy and not really well defined. This is actually in this specific one, there's a really nice parts where it affects the lore in one of the battles that happens later. But we can go to that in a moment when we can go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next one, I think the next page is really a thing. I was really intrigued about, what are these special Marines? Why this guy is, I don't know, who is the librarians? And I was really intrigued about the whole distribution. And of course, you can see the beautiful banner this model is having. Really, the previous edition, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A really nice beacon kind of helmet.
Yeah, I like the Mark 6 Marines, particularly like this one. It looks like a conversion. Maybe holding like a las pistol or a plasma pistol or a bolt pistol or something, and they've just cut it out and put a nice banner on there.
Yeah, you can tell because the thinner, the banner thickness is not really big, and I guess it was just a really way of the conversion. But it's really amazing.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, and of course this beautiful, lovely image on the right um, about Lemon Rush. It's a really, really nice artwork, that one in there. I have
Yeah.
it hanging in my. I
Oh,
used to
really?
have it hanging in my room when I was living in Spain. I live in the Netherlands now, so I'm just kind of remodeling my hobby space. Is the storage, but it's becoming cozy. It's becoming cozier.
It
And I think
sounds like you traded the beautiful sunshine of Spain for the drizzly, wet, cold weather of the Netherlands.
yeah, that's what we don't have there. So that is the sun for us, I guess.
Yeah, it's a perfect country for hobbying, mate. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Stay indoors and
yeah.
yeah.
I needed more time to be indoors, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. All these heavy metal little things that they were populating the with dwarfs, but back in the day, especially like these units. Yeah, this tactical squad. I remember a friend of mine bought it when we were still in the school back in the days. It was insane. This one, I really like the character on the sergeant, and yeah, it was bringing the last cannon. It was quite. It was regularly coming with a missile launcher, and this was the first one. I think it was coming with the last cannon by default and the plasma gun.
Mm.
It was really nice kit, and of course the devastators. It's
Yeah.
that sergeant or the devastator with a fist app.
Yep.
Yeah, it was quite iconic to me.
Little fist pump.
Yeah.
Fist pump for
Indeed.
victory. Yeah. So,
Yes.
fire! He would shout. Yeah. But yeah, beautiful. Like the especially like that. There's like a wreath that's hand painted on one of the knee pads on that guy. Like it's just really, really insanely beautiful paint jobs. I love all the old Ultramarine models, the Tactical Squad, the Devastator Squad. Really,
Yes.
really nice.
Yeah, and all the bright colors. It just every single time I see someone just painting in these styles of the 90s, it just brings me back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have only one problem trying to imitating this the colors of the golden tones back in the days, because the golden, it was a bit they weren't having the formula that they're happening nowadays to be a bit more consistent, so they needed a little bit more work. So yeah, and of course,
Are you talking about the gold or the yellow?
I think it's the gold color is a bit more. I think it was kind of a different tone. It was somewhere in between. Yeah, more like silver and yeah, on the gold color. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Yeah, beautiful miniatures, especially the banners. They were amazing.
Yeah, the banners make them definitely they make them stand out, and they sort of just complete the whole model. Without the banners, they're still nicely painted models, but I just don't think they have that same impact. You get visual impact when you look at these models here.
Yeah, and the symbolism that they were adding there, and just so much art in these models.
Yep. But Mark Evans,
I think probably Mark Evans is my favorite illustrator from the whole back in the days, especially all those nice pictures on the army books that you can see, and Necromunda. Those are really amazing. My favorite by far. I think I'm trying to collect some original artwork from him, from his.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, I know he does sell them. I asked him years ago about it, getting some dwarf artwork from him, but yeah, unfortunately the price is
It's just going
out of my league at this stage of my life, unfortunately. But yeah, it would be lovely to have a original Mark Gibbons on your wall. So
yeah. I'm thinking of buying a house, but probably I'm gonna give up just to get one piece of this.
Yeah. So it's wonderful, really good. Yeah. Did you ever get to play Manowar?
I never had a chance, and I always wanted. So I'm trying to collect the manuals. Because I always was I was intrigued, but nobody was playing around. So I think now it's a bit easier because there's a I also see that in the Discord channel, there's a huge amount of people already talking about and playing around it. How do you like it?
I love it. I think it's a great system. Yeah, it sort of passed people by. I think during the 90s, and not many people picked up on it, but I think it's a really, really good system, really fun. So it has a lot of heart and soul for a specialist game. And you think, well, there's not much going on. There's only 6 ships aside, but there's a lot of game in it. So it's really, really a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by these specific parts, but they were displaying the Sea of Blood and the new monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So I was intrigued, it's not only just battling. Then you can have some action coming from, I don't know, this Kraken, or I was really intrigued about it. But then when I had the chance, nobody in the shop were playing that much.
That's right. Yeah, I think most people stuck with 40k or fantasy, and that was it, really. Yeah.
And I think the specialist games are really, really, when I if I think I've looked back, I really enjoy it, especially Necromunda and all those games.
Yep, they were certainly the best ones, I think. So here we go. We've got John Blanche Illuminations now.
Yeah. This is so good. I mean, you can see all the tone and the how dark the 40k it is. It's just thanks to this man.
Look at that. I love that Space Marine Terminator captain guy he's got here. And they shall know no fear. So it's such a great vision, that I think, from John, and that sort of just set everything. He set the tone for all this sort of really grim, dark kind of 40k universe, I think.
Yeah. And it just, all the detail and how it just, the Hide Lords or all the different kind of, especially for the Imperium, right? Just having this vision on how obscure and sometimes even creepy, right? This is this is not really that much fun. It's just, many of these models are painted in bright colors, but hey, this is serious business here. And this beautiful artwork, I have the poster in my collection. I think it was also kind of with this paint guide or this really small catalog, it was coming on the central pages as well. So of course I rip it off sometime for having it as a poster. Beautiful artwork. Yeah.
Now we come to Games Day 93. Did you ever attend a Games Day at all?
I did, but not in the UK.
Right.
I did have the chance to go to the ones in Spain back in the day, especially around the end of the 90s and early 2000s. Really, really a thing. I was really, when I was watching already Games Day 93 here on the pictures, it was just massive. It was just, look at this. People doing already cosplay back in the 90s.
That's his Space Wolf friend from before. When that little kid had won all the prizes. That's the same Terminator.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And of course, with all the pelts, I think it's one of the reasons I was really intrigued by those guys on the right. Why these Space Marines are so wild and with these bright colors, they're just captivating.
Yep.
And here, Neil Hodgson, really amazing conversions and applying of the color here. I think that Dragon Prince, it was, I was just looking at him quite often, and I was thinking I'm gonna collect elves someday. I started with dwarves, I remember, and then goblins. Those are my two armies to go always. But yeah, I'm still having an idea of having a unit like this. Really good.
Yeah, really, really nice, aren't they? Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Sea of Blood.
Here we go.
And the red dot and yellow dot items. So you buy one red dot, you get 2 yellow dotted items for free, and all that kind of stuff. That used to be really popular, the grand openings back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you have those back in Spain at all too?
I remember there was a reopening on the main It was in the Calle Princesa, which is the Princess Street, translated literally. That was the main point in Madrid, and they had a reopening, so I attended. I attended to that one, and then I remember I attended as a customer to the shop I ended up working for.
Right.
I remember bringing a full castle for Warhammer Siege. I'll leave it later on time, but it was it was a good deals you could get there for spending in the end you were spending in the hobby nonetheless. But yeah, nice deals. Yeah.
Now we've got Dwarf Characters by Rick Priestley. Now this is the time when the Dwarf book had already been out. So there's just sort of follow-up articles on the various characters now. So Bullrock Damonson.
Yeah, I think it's probably I think I like the envision of on John Blanche here on how this character. I think that really steampunk thing on the engineers, on the dwarves, is something that is been lost nowadays a little bit. But I really enjoy this massive arm with a barrel on the back for the steam. Such great models. These models from I believe they were at least the dwarf miners. I think they were from Marauder.
These ones are from Marauder. Yeah, the dwarf miners are. Yeah.
I think this is my favorite unit on all Warhammer back in the days. I cannot explain why. Maybe it's because of this specific issue, but yeah, it's just fantastic. I have a full unit now to get painted again for the new Call of the Crown.
Very good. Very good.
Perhaps. So it's they're really good. I love this. I love this the range of the dwarfs in this
yes.
Time.
Yeah. Wonderful. Then we look at the Angels of Death with Andy Chambers and Jervis Johnson. I think this is a particular battle report that they put between the two forces. Now, of course, second edition had just been released, so of course they wanted to showcase the Blood Angels before the Codex had come out, and of course the Orcs were also featured here in this particular battle report.
It's really interesting to say that you see the captain here is using this old golden from the previous
they're all road
edition.
And
then what happened in this specific battle is there's an attack between spoiler alert like many years ago already, but this specific captain get the head, or get an attack on the head on a scar because of this Strombotic orc like a psychic attack, and then that was included afterwards in the Angels of Death Codex.
Oh, right.
This is actually I think it was Tychus. I don't remember the name Tycho. Exactly. But then you can see the half of the face, and that new model is really, really similar to the same posture, and then it's having half of the face. Is this actual battle? But it's in the lore after in the
right. Well, there you go. I think that's Tycho actually. Sorry, that's Tycho, because Tycho Tycho, and then the new Tycho had half the face carved out, or like you say, it's been ripped away by an orc attack. So that's really interesting. I didn't know
it happens in this battle report.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Really, really intriguing and really interesting that it was still forming, and there was. You could see that all the lore was just being created along the way with these battle reports. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love that.
And of course, the maps in these battle reports, they were just so good. I was just looking at them, and then it's like, how they made that? And of course, by hand. There's so much craft work, and I really love that.
Yeah, it's a full encompassing hobby. It's like, build your table, build terrain, paint the models, assemble and paint the models. So it's got everything in it. Yeah. Build your own stories and scenarios. That's why we were saying the other day, it's like this is really a lifelong project. It's not something you can do within a weekend. It's like, You know, if you embark on doing an army, painting an army and collecting it, then it could be a good 10-year or more project,
Yeah,
as we know. You know.
yeah, definitely. Well, see us. We started in the maybe 80s, late 80s.
Hmm.
And here we are still.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure are.
And not going anywhere.
No, mate.
So
That's it.
yeah, and just a comment on the orcs and all the banners and all those models.
Hmm.
That the specific range from Kev Adams. I just crazy about it. I have a fantasy army now, just mostly focusing Kev Adams characters, and
Right.
I think this in the 40K, it was insane. Um, really good models. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at the rotated books for orcs, and apparently the evil sons, they all have to have back banners, and I think it's maybe the Goth knobs or something also had to have back banners. It's really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
But I love back banners on models. I think that just, especially 40K, you've got individual models
yeah,
carrying them, and they just, they visually look so much more attractive than having no banners at all on your
yeah.
models. So it makes a big difference.
Indeed. By the way, we didn't say anything about Paul Bonner's orc face that he was in a little bit behind
Right.
on
Sorry.
that.
Yes.
But just to mention Paul Bonner, what a great um, artist.
Oh
I
yeah.
said that Mark Gibbons is my favorite. I still like the monochrome tones, but yeah, the orcs and Here We Go. I never happened to own them, but those books with the artwork and all the Orc Society, and yeah, it's just it's amazing. Yeah, other
Yeah,
contributions
if you
from
can
Paul
try
Bonner.
to
Yeah,
get the art, it's called The Art of Paul Bonner. It's a book that was released, I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago by Titan Books. And I picked up a copy when it first came out with my sister, and I'm so glad that I've done it because it's got all of his Rackham GW, some of his GW, and some of the stuff he did for Target games and all that.
yeah.
So, and the recent stuff. Is it Trudvang or something like that? The role playing game, the Swedish role playing game.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's got a lot of, and I think he's going to release another book as well at some point because
Okay.
obviously he's producing a lot of art for various companies. So it's really wonderful to see that he's still doing it and still a master. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll have a look on that. Let's see if I can get myself a copy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too expensive for you now, mate. So,
Yeah. Well, I said I was having for a mortgage.
yeah.
Probably need to give up completely.
You filled your shopping cart already. You got Mark Gibbons art, and then you got the art books from Paul Bonner. So yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
racking
So
it up for you.
I need to just manage my expectations, I guess.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. You always got a dream. It's nice, and one day,
Yeah,
you might get a really good
yeah.
opportunity somewhere of picking something up like that.
Yeah.
So now we're sort of further to the back of the book now. So we're looking at sort of the UK mail order pages and other grand openings and more of their advertisements and that kind of thing. But of course, at the back is kind of a source of inspiration for many people because they can start
Oh
ordering all the
yes.
things they've seen in the magazine, which is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ordered many times to mail order?
Never through. Well, I did it once in Australia, but I can't remember. I must have done it through a mail order form because it was really before PCs. It was the only time I've ever done it. So, and yeah, luckily everything went okay. I don't know how I got the money to do it, like as in like a check or something. I must have asked my father to do it or something. I don't know, but yeah, I only done it once. How about yourself?
I remember calling because, as I said, sending a letter, it
Yeah.
was a bit tricky. But I remember calling, and I don't remember exactly. I think it was the payment happened when the package was delivered, system kind of, because of course I was not really thinking of sending money. But I remember the people from Central, Spain Central. I mean, it was in Barcelona. They were so lovely, that people. Really, it was surprisingly good in delivery. I remember I just asked for a couple of miniatures, only like a bunch.
Yeah.
But nowadays I probably just would go crazy. Like, and I used it, but I think once. Then I went to Nottingham once, and it was a different thing to kind of the forge uh, as an
Right. Go to
employee.
the factory and pick
Yeah,
your
to the
order.
factory.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, this is probably where I spent the most time over the time, just looking into these pages of the
Yeah.
of the catalog. And I was just fascinated, mostly the blue ones, as I said. Yeah, as we
Hmm.
said, Marauder.
Hmm.
Um, I was really fascinated. Oh, this model, I didn't really see it on the unit that it was in the box art, and I was like, oh, I really like that one. I could have this one 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is really something I didn't know before, because I just kind of get into the uh, yeah, I was fascinated with all the miniatures and the range, and then I saw, there's different models of the armors of the Space Marines and so on. So it was really really nice. Now it's really popular with the Horus Heresy and all the stuff. And yeah, look at these characters, especially the Runterts. They're just
Yeah.
so
Great, aren't they? Fantastic models. Yep.
so funny, and all these snotlings for 40K.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
just something I'm really, really after, because they're not that common. So,
Me too. I really want that snotling with the stick bomb and the ammo box. I think that's a classic one. That one.
yes,
Never
yes,
seen
it
it.
is.
Yeah. Never seen it. And the
No,
other one with
no,
the selling squigs one. That's really cool too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and also the one just under the one on the squeak is really nice. I just on the bullet, I don't know. It just
They're carrying
so
the ammunition. Yeah, it's got a
yeah,
shell.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
so good, so good, so good, Kev. As always, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful models. So.
yeah.
And here we come to the end of the magazine, mate. I'm just going to.
Just look at the arts on the battle banner of
Yeah.
this paywalls. It's just quite insane.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And
Yeah.
yeah, really beautiful. And I have to say that all the elder range from this
Hmm.
from the 90s is just amazing. Like all the bright colors on the flammers. It's just so good. Yeah, so good. Mm.
Yeah. This is the big transition. I think we're coming into like when Brian Ansell left the company, he took a lot of models from the studio, and I think they had to hurriedly paint a lot of figures to make up a lot of the lost armies and collections there. So it's kind of like a rebuilding of the studio, basically. So you can see a
Mhm.
lot of those aspect warriors are kind of really plainly painted. They're not, there's no sort of highlights or
Yes, you
that
can see that they are leaving on the background. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Put them right in the background so you can't see them very well. So the Space Wolves take the center stage because they're the most beautiful looking miniatures in the picture, apart from the Dreadnought, of course. The Dreadnought's really nice and the
Yeah.
Farseer. But
No, it was such a big model back in the. It was. I remember if you compare that with the dreadnought of the Space
yeah,
Marines, it was really, really, really tall. It was really big, as big as the giants, I guess,
yeah,
from the
yeah, well,
fantasy.
yeah. Well, David, it's been a fantastic voyage through your first White Dwarf. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too, mate.
Yeah, I enjoyed so much. It just always bring me back.
That's
So
wonderful.
it was a really, really opportunity to talk it through it. Yeah, I hope you, as you said, just had a lot of fun.
Great.
So
Me too, mate.
yeah,
It's been
yeah,
really good to talk with you, and I'd like to see more of your painting progress on our Discord. So please keep posting pics of your Space Wolves as you go
yeah,
and other stuff you're
yeah, yeah.
working on. We'd love to see it, mate.
No problem. You'll see. See you around then.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Bye bye. Massive thanks to David for coming on and talking all about his first White Dwarf. Really enjoyed that, and I think you guys did too. Please listen to our podcast for more interviews with other people from our community and other celebrities in the hobby world. And please consider becoming a Patreon. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye.